Hey everybody, Flex Bigfoot coming back at you with another shoe review. Got the box right here, and we are going to be taking a look at the Foamposite calf strap. Okay, now this I already wore. Okay, hit some chest and tries with this, and you know, if you're a fan of the Foamposite, you know what you're getting there. I am indeed a fan. On the Bigfoot side of things, they don't go beyond size 15 these days with Foamposites. Probably for the Foamposite. Now these 15s actually fit. I heard they did extend the size a little bit on the modern Foamposite. So I'm quite lucky. I was taking a chance here getting this 15. Well, not so much of a chance as there's free returns, but I didn't want to return them. I wanted to keep them, and luckily, like I said, the 15s fit. Believe it or not, I have a couple pair of Foamposites that are 17. They're the older ones, and they seem to fit as well. I don't have any 16s, which I would guess might be my real. It's my Jordan size. It's not my Nike size. Nike, I'm usually 15. But anytime there's a player, like Penny is associated with this, usually I have to get the 16. I have the Penny, I think, ones with the Orlando Magic blue colorway. Well, it's a black with just some blue swoosh. And that 15 is a toe cruncher for me. So, again, this is another Penny shoe. Thought I was going to have a problem. There's a Penny logo right on the back. Thought I was going to have a problem with the 15s, but as I said, I heard that the modern 15s run a little big. Or the modern Foamposites run a little big. So, yeah, these 15s fit well. And, you know, the Foamposite is a solid construction type of shoe. As we know, it gets poured into a mold, and they make it off of that. They seem to be coming out with a lot of them. Galaxy came out, which was a big thing for a lot of people back in the day. The you know, the Galaxy was like a lot of people's grail Foamposite. I didn't get that one. And overall, I actually was looking for that green Volt pair. I took an L on that. And as you know, when you talk about the large sizes, resellers scooped them up. So there were no size 15 volts around. And in actuality, this shoe, okay, was a store exclusive. At which point, the resellers, up to their usual shenanigans, were grabbing every 15 that was out there. I mean, I saw a posting that Foot Locker added size 15, and I must have seen that post maybe 5 minutes rather. 5 minutes after the post was made, I go to Foot Locker and it's sold out. So, These were up on eBay. Resellers doing their usual thing with the large sizes. Couldn't do that with the regular sizes because they were still on websites. Uh, but then finally, Sneakers listed this, and it's from there that I was able to get the W and get my retail price Foamposite 1 cough drop. Blue pair came out since then. I wasn't really looking for it. I do like the look of, I think there's one coming out that's going to be like all shank plate material or something. So, with some blue accents, that one looks good. It might be called the Carbon, I think. But, yeah, the cough drop, I mean, I just went into a post about, when I was showing the LeBron 23, that I already have too many black, red, and white sneakers. This kind of falls under there. Black and red. I mean, probably anything I was going to wear this with, I could wear with the flu games that I got. So, the Volt would have been a different color choice, but yeah, I just kind of like these cough drop. I do have some sneakers with Volt in them already. And as I said, with the LeBron 23 Miami Twice that I just picked up, I'm not afraid to go outside of this color combination. But yeah, like I said, this one spoke to me. See, they got a red line down the center. Got this suede-like material all around. Got the pull tab on this. Penny logo as I showed you. And I wore them, so there's a little bit on here, but you see the traction pattern. Okay, and for gym purposes, again, I'm not really shooting hoops. Gym purposes, doing chest and tries, these were great. You know, stable. So dealing with a little bit of a shoulder thing right now, so I wasn't benching, but anything that I did do in them was very stable. And like I said, the pennies, it's really that part of the toe right there, small toe, bit of a tight crunch on that, where I'm not feeling that with, thankfully, not feeling that with this. But yeah, so I don't know. There's only 15s now. Luckily, I can fit a 15. If your 15s are too tight, 16s, 17s, I think, only internet, like eBay or something, is going to be your best bet. And I mean, they're not really, there's not a lot of heat on the Foamposite these days. I like it, but I don't see them in the gym really. I've seen it like maybe at a department store. I saw some guy rocking them. Uh, so usually, there are eBay sellers with the pie in the sky type of dreams where they want to, charge whatever for it. So you got to decide if, that's the route you want to go. But some of them do recognize that, there isn't a ton of heat on them anymore. And they're going to degrade at some point. So you'll find some sellers who are willing to sell them at a reasonable price. Flex Bigfoot. So I should get on the flex side of things. Figured I'd just talk real briefly about the current Mr. Olympia that just passed. Lee Haney, I was around for his era, and I think he has a point that some of these shorter bodybuilders looking a little too squashed and ogre-like. On strict judging criteria of just size for condition, I can see where they're making their decisions. But in the Haney era, there was higher value of the proportions and symmetry, and that usually shows up in a taller physique. So even though Andrew Jacked may not look as filled out from the side, because a guy with 6'1", 6'2", usually isn't going to have that hamstring hang that a guy who's 5'8" is going to have. So, but I think that X-frame and the aesthetics when standing to the front should count for something, and count for a lot more than it does. So, I don't know anyone personally. Derek and Hottie did their thing, 1 and 2. I like Andrew Jack more. Samson, when he's a bit fuller, more. So that's kind of where I stood on that. Beiruz Tabani was hoping for good things for him as he finally made it to the U.S., but with just 6 days out, making it in, and the tooth infection didn't go his way. So, myself, been thinking about perhaps doing another drug-free bodybuilding show. I had competed in many of them in the past, and I had a pro card in the WNBF. There was an NGA show around here. I had thought about it, but you have to have a clear plate for that. Things came up, and I was a little behind schedule on that one. So, unfortunately, they don't really run a lot of shows in the November, December time period, being that they know people have Thanksgiving and Christmas. So, December probably would have been a good month to compete. But I'll see what shows are offered in January, February, the drug-free shows in this area. And, I just talked about the Olympia. I talked about doing drug-free shows. And sometimes people will ask about that. And look, I don't really have